We have major news right now. Tomorrow is a day of reckoning for Donald Trump and his presidency. For the first time in 5 years, he will face a massive rebuke from his own party. Over 100 Republicans are set to vote against him to release the Epstein Files. And while Trump now makes a last ditch effort to change paths and say vote for them anyway, that he has nothing to hide, he spent the last 9 months of his presidency trying to hide exactly what will be released publicly, assuming the Senate votes for it as well. And it also sets the stage for a House vote that could be a veto-proof majority tomorrow, heading to the United States Senate, where you can get another veto-proof majority. And then Donald Trump, who encouraged Republicans to vote for it, will have a choice whether to veto this bill or release the files and go back on his promise to the American people. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, because tomorrow is going to be a major day in American history, and I'm going to be providing you updates throughout it all. And as Congressman Ro Khanna made clear, tomorrow is the first reckoning for the Epstein class, but it will not be the last. Because this isn't just about one man or one president. It's about a decades-long scheme to abuse young girls, children, rape. And the people, the American people, deserve answers, but the survivors deserve them even more. The survivors deserve accountability, transparency, and justice. And as Congressman Thomas Massie made clear, this is a fight his Republican colleagues should take on right now.
The president's been saying this is a hoax. He's been saying that for months. Well, he's just now decided to investigate a hoax, if it's a hoax. And I have another concern about these investigations that he's announced. If they have ongoing investigations in certain areas, those documents can't be released. So this might be a big smokescreen, these investigations, to open a bunch of them as a last-ditch effort to prevent the release of the Epstein files.
Massey's right. That's what Donald Trump is setting the stage for, a situation where he can now claim that he can't release the Epstein files because there's this ongoing investigation. But that doesn't mean Republicans won't vote against it, because Massey's making clear that they want to be in office a lot longer than Trump will be.
But I would remind my Republican colleagues who are deciding how to vote, Donald Trump can protect you in red districts right now by giving you an endorsement. But in 2030, he's not going to be the president, and you will have voted to protect pedophiles if you don't vote to release these files, and the president can't protect you then. This vote, the record of this vote, will last longer than Donald Trump's.
He's right. The record of the vote will last longer than Donald Trump's presidency. And here's the deal. Thomas Massie today said that Trump simply got tired of winning, tired of me winning. Insisting I don't care in a late-night Truth Social post, Trump was bowing to the inevitable. A broad House Republican mutiny on a vote that was only scheduled because Thomas Massie forced it. It was the result of Massie and Ro Khanna launching a discharge petition aimed at sidestepping Republican leaders who desperately wanted to avoid bringing the issue to the floor. The campaign to avoid the vote got remarkably ugly in the days before Trump finally conceded, with the president personally attacking Massie for recently remarrying after the sudden death in June 2024 of his wife of more than 30 years. Just hours before Trump's reversal, one of his top political advisors called him garbage in a Twitter post. Yet for months, senior White House officials labored to convince rank-and-file Republicans to keep their names off of Massie's discharge effort. That, according to 5 people granted anonymity to discuss private conversations, included warnings that any effort to support an Epstein vote would be viewed as a direct and personal move against the president. Trump has denied wrongdoing in relation to the Epstein allegations, and no evidence has suggested that Trump took part in Epstein's trafficking operations. But that doesn't mean that Donald Trump wasn't close with Jeffrey Epstein, and that doesn't mean that the American people don't deserve answers. Because right now, there are a lot of questions. There is a lot of smoke, a lot of questions over whether or not Donald Trump's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein was closer than he let on publicly. And we know that to be true just based on the documents we have right now. And Congressman Robert Garcia, well, he's the leading House Democrat on the Oversight Committee, and he is fighting to make sure that even if Trump doesn't want to release the files, they still get them through alternative means.
Subpoena was to get those records and to get them to the committee. And it was a committee vote, a subcommittee vote of the Congress. What Roe and Tom Massie are doing is they're getting the entire U.S. House and eventually the entire U.S. Senate on record of whether or not they want to release the files. And those files will go to the entire Congress and will be released to the public. And so it's also a really important parallel effort to what we're doing. And the reason why it's critical is because we need Republicans on the record that they say they're for transparency to vote. And I actually think when that vote comes up, possibly this week, we're going to get a significant amount of Republicans to vote yes. And the more we get, the better, because that will then put the pressure on the Senate. And then the question will end up right back to the president. And he will have to, again, once answer to the American people, what are you hiding? Release the files.
He's right. He's right. Because once this passes the House, which it will pass the House, the question is only by how much. It heads to the United States Senate. And the best way to ensure that the United States Senate passes this resolution is to make sure that there is enough of a veto-proof majority in the House. The Senate has no choice but to vote on it, but to pass it. And honestly, at this point, I don't think it even matters whether or not there's a veto-proof majority in the House or the Senate. Because if Donald Trump is now saying publicly that essentially that he supports releasing the files, he supports the House vote, then ultimately when it gets to the White House for his signature, he has locked himself in. He's going to have to sign it. And if he doesn't sign it, I mean, I would argue that that, to me, would open up an investigation into possible high crimes and misdemeanors. Because a lie like that to the American people is one that will cause Republicans to lose seats in the House and the Senate in 2026. Probably will have them lose both chambers in 2026. And two, represents would lead to, what the hell is Trump hiding? Why doesn't he want the files to come out? And so now you're in a situation where Donald Trump, the president of the United States, has boxed himself in to having to release these files, whether he wants to or not. And he's doing it after fighting for so long to stop it. Spread the word. I'll have more updates soon, so make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you soon for another post. See you soon for more. Hey folks, Aaron Parnas here. Thank you so much for watching The Parnas Perspective. Please consider subscribing to support our work as we grow this independent news media entity into something that rivals mainstream every single day. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.